Hello, and welcome all to another episode of, was it Retro Live Repairs?
YouTube Retro Repairers.
That's it, yeah. I nearly said retro for you then. Hello, everybody in the chat who's in there. Let me just post a hello in there. Today, we've got a special guest waiting behind in the room behind, as we call it, which is CRG, Glenn. Now, he's a really massive YouTuber compared to me and probably compared to the rest of us. He's been doing it for about 6 years, I think. So he's got a lot of experience in this, and he's probably got a lot of experience in retro repairs. So hopefully you've got loads of questions for him. Now, usually before we do that, we have a chat between ourselves. Unfortunately, Josip can't make it this week due to him having no internet, which is just an excuse, isn't it? I mean, he could have done it somehow. He could have put it next door, couldn't he? I mean, surely they've got internet next door.
We know he's in pub, really, don't we?
Exactly, that's what it is. He's probably watching it. So what I'm going to do is we'll just have a quick chat to see what we've been doing. So, Lee, what have you been up to?
I've been working.
All right.
That's pretty much what I've been doing since my last video. But I've just finished. I think I'll put it here. I finished your Mr.
Little Mister. Oh, right, that's cool.
Mr. MT32.
Yeah.
We're going to get that over to you. And
That's
I
good.
bought the bits to do an MSX go old, but unfortunately, I bought all the wrong package size chips.
Oh,
So
dear.
I've got to wait for them to turn up.
How have you done that? I've never done anything like that before. That's why I've got about 5 different chips up there.
I bought them all as like SOP 20s, and it turns out they've got to be T-SOPs.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I've had that before, yeah. It's dead confusing, especially, yeah. It is confusing. It's easy done, that is, to be honest. Because you can get the smaller ones, can't you? And then the slightly bigger, and then you get the through-hole ones. Why do you just
these
can't?
are really small.
Yeah, and then the tiny ones for the thingy.
Apparently, even if you order the right things, you don't get them.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Especially with some companies. I've had that before as well, where somebody sent me a giant 40-amp fuse holder instead of like some resistors.
Oh, I remember that.
Exactly. It happens, exactly.
Yeah, that was Doobie, wasn't it? On the chat, he was saying that he'd ordered some SMD stuff, and it turned up to be some kind of pen holder or something, wasn't it?
It was something
Or
strange,
white.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was something nothing related anywhere near it, anyway.
and it was from DigiKey as well. I mean, Jesus,
That's who mine were from, DigiKey. That fuse was.
fuckers.
I think they got AI picking it. Okay, what about you, Steve? What have you been up to? Apart from recapping stuff.
Not much, really, apart from that last one we're doing, using them tweezers. I'm looking at them because they're up there. But yeah, they were a cracking bit of kit there. What? Absolutely,
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried putting them back on with them, but I think it feels a bit stupid putting them back on.
Yeah,
It's hard because it would nice. What we'll try to do is just to melt the solder, because I like to put a bit of flux on the bottom of the cap.
Yeah.
Before I put it on. So I thought, well, if I can just melt it and then just drop the cap straight on and come off. Do you know what I mean? They could have gone straight back on that way, but I think moving forward, you've got to solder one pad and slide it in and do it with the other. Just do it with your single iron, putting them back on.
It's whatever feels comfy to you, innit?
Yeah, I mean, they did feel weird at first. Like,
I always hold them down with one finger and then do one leg and then do the other leg. I mean, but it depends how you feel. We're doing it.
I hold them down with one finger and then go snip.
Yeah, you're a snipper. You're going to get lots of bad feedback in a minute in the chat.
PCB destroyer.
Yeah. How much were they?
I think, what was about 65 quid or something at the moment? Straight from
about 70 quid at the moment to buy, but we got them sent by that company to test them. So drop them an email.
But it is a bit expensive then, isn't it?
Not really, because there's not much others on the market. The ones that are on the market are like 400 quid.
Yeah, I guess.
And they work.
Yeah.
Because the cheaper ones you find sometimes they're dead hard to keep the nozzles and they started to twist equally. But these ones have got the pushing, do you know the pushing tips?
Yeah.
So you can just hot swap them, and they just work, mate. Honestly, they are really good.
Send me a private chat, Lee.
I was very, very impressed with them, to say the least. And obviously, I've got a set here, which is on my soldering iron, which again is very similar, but those other ones do work as good. I was very impressed with them.
Nice long lead as well, don't you? That silicon lead.
It's good quality lead as well, and the actual the case you get and everything is really good as well. Yeah. Well,
it's just a shame. It's like I mentioned in my video with them, that mount where you screw it on. If it had had just a little slot in it, so you could have slotted it in.
Yeah,
you could take it apart easy and put it in the case.
Better than that, though, isn't it?
Well, it is. Yeah, to be fair, that's
Hayco for you. That is.
Yeah.
Hayco with a bloody soldering gun give you a bent piece of metal.
Yeah, well, somebody mentioned it on one of your videos, didn't they? People got something about weight. You can't go off weight, but to be honest, if it feels heavy, it's generally good.
It feels good quality, exactly. Yeah, that's the way I always feel stuff. Yeah.
So that's all I've done really this month. I've not done much. My Xbox video we're doing quite well. That's still moving on up. Quite surprised at that one going. So I might have to do a few more Xbox videos, I think. If my viewers are enjoying that, may as well give them a bit of what they're enjoying.
Yeah, I've got, what have I got coming? I've got this coming.
What's that?
Come on, you know what it is.
That is. That's a Chip Tester Pro.
There you go.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's like that big on my screen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
A Retro Chip Tester Pro when I get the bit.
You know what it is.
I've got a Mac video coming out because I've got another Mac to repair there, hopefully, if I get it fixed. It's not playing ball. I've got here you go. A rather poorly Amiga 600.
Oof. That's had a hard life. That's been used as a doorstop, hasn't it?
It's got full rust in it and everything. I haven't opened it up, but that's how it came to me. So yeah, it's come from a recycling company, so it's probably been thrown in the crates and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to fixing that because I reckon it's good. What do you think, Lee? It's a Commodore. Come on, it could be an Amstrad.
Well, if you need a keyboard PCB, we know a man for them.
Oh, we do, yeah, for the solid ones. That's definitely. That's about it. I've been on those things, like I say, and I haven't done a video this week because I thought I'm doing this, and I've had a load of stuff to do at home as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a lot of work to do one, isn't it, and get one out.
It is. I mean, it's like, our lass's exhaust dropped off last week, and then I went to take her up to drop car off, and mine dropped off outside garage as well. Like when we picking her car up there, you know.
At least it dropped off at garage.
It was right outside door.
He could have gaffer taped it back on. Come on.
Well, he pretty much did. He welded it back up for me. Sorted.
Oh, well, that's good then, isn't it? It's good if you can weld it, like I say. Yeah.
So that got fixed up out of way, and then obviously I've been running around selling some bits and pieces off this last few weeks. Vectrax has gone. CD32's gone. The one that I just up video, sold that on. Master System's gone.
Vectrax went as well, didn't it?
That's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it's quids in now. He is. Look at him.
What bloody not? It's gone.
It's all gone in his exhaust, hasn't it?
Gone on my exhaust and on my holiday.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you enjoy it, mate. Get rid of them. Like I say, if you don't use the things.
I didn't think we were going to be here, did I? For stream, I thought I might be over there, but I won't. I'll be here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Unfortunately,
right. I'm going to fetch Glenn in now, anyway. So everybody say hello to Glenn from CRG, and hopefully we can transport him in now. There he goes.
Hi guys.
How you doing?
Hi,
We can hear you loud and
Very
clear.
well. Very well. Thank you very much for having me.
You've moved now. So, Glenn, what have you been up to recently?
Not very much in terms of retro, to be honest. I haven't done anything actually for the last couple of months. I have been getting, I say that. I have been getting back into it in the last few days. Funny, you just showed Amiga 600 there. I have two of them here for repairs. They're not mine, like they're owned by other people who've sent them in. Well, it's not just the usual sort of stuff. they've got quite weird faults on them, so there'll be videos upcoming for that. And I started looking at this little PCB that I've designed. That'll be the next video, I hope. Just putting this together. Should go together pretty quickly.
Is that a controller or something? Or?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
That is intended to go inside that.
Oh.
That is the A500 controller.
Yeah.
So obviously it comes with just, its original PCB and just a USB port on the back of it.
Yeah.
Which is all well and good for modern stuff, but who wants anything like that? So instead, this is a CD32 joypod.
Oh, that's a really cool idea.
That'll go in there and make this into a proper CD32 pod.
And it's the right way around. It's not upside down.
Yes, right. I will not have anything bad said about the CD32 pod. This is one of the greatest joypods ever made.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It
only has a bit of a crap D-pad and the buttons are a bit mushy and it doesn't really fit in your hands. But other than that, it is perfect.
I think they got Amstrad to design that.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all on Commodore.
No, I mean I've got a CD32. I mean they're a lovely, absolutely stonking machine. I have the SX1 to plug into the back of it and all the original hardware for it. So they are an awesome machine, but that controller.
That's what let it down when it was a controller.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, now Glenn's fixing that, isn't he?
What?
Like 30 years down the line, Glenn's fixing it now, so that's good. Is it 40?
Well, don't know about fixing it. I haven't built it yet. I don't know if it works. It may work. I just followed the Commodore schematics, so that has to work then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got to. Yeah, Commodore don't do anything wrong. You don't open the Commodore machine and suddenly see lots of bodge wires, do you, over the board? What they forgot to do?
No, they don't put still screen on wrong way around neither, do they?
No, there wouldn't be anything like that. No.
That was a Friday job, that was, mate. They want you to go home, so
that's all it is.
Don't even go dissing the Commodore. the fucking Amstrad, the two joysticks didn't even work independently.
The what?
The two joysticks didn't even work independently.
Oh. That's a good laugh. Okay then.
Yeah, that's good. It's good as that, Glenn, to be fair. I mean, it's a cracking bit of good idea, is that? Because the controllers are a pain to get hold of as well, aren't they? They're very expensive.
Yeah, I picked up 2 of those A500 controllers off eBay there, just randomly seen them on eBay. I thought, I've got an idea. They weren't that dear. I think I got them for like 25 quid for the 2 of them.
Were they knackered or still working?
I've no idea. I didn't try them. I just took it to bits. It might still work. I mean, there's it there. I mean, the wire's still connected to it, so yeah, I'm sure.
Bottom foot shells and buttons.
That's so funny. That's really good. I'm really interested in that. I watched that video, like I say. I've been watching
it's all part of
the videos.
All right, yes.
Yeah, I've been watching.
I went to the dark side for a month.
Your Atari, wasn't it? Yeah. I've been enjoying them because, like I say, I've got an Atari ST as well down there under the shelf. But it's an FM. I never had an FM before. I always had the E when I was younger.
Aye, that's the FM I have there. I have an E board. I just bought the board, thinking, Ataris would be like Amigas in that respect, that you can just get cases and keyboards anywhere. You can't get them for love nor money.
Yeah.
So I've got an Atari ST board with nothing about them.
He's had the Sims in them, didn't he? He could upgrade them with Sims,
First ones had SIPs in.
SIPs?
Right?
Yeah.
Is that like in the Archimedes with the pins?
Fuck knows, I ain't got an Archimedes.
Oh, right, because I think the A3020 I've got there has got SIPs in it. So like little memory chips with little pins.
That's it.
Sort of like the those stupid LCD screens on the CD TV. Yeah.
Yeah, that ROM's not good. That ROM likes to fail, as far as I know.
Yeah.
That's SIP memory.
I really like the Atari STs. I had them a lot back in the day, and I've got a few of them. The FM isn't a patch on the E, to be fair.
No, it hasn't got the color palette as well, has it? It's
but
got
that
512
really
in it.
It don't really matter because a lot of the games didn't use it anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
It sounded like an Amstrad though, didn't it? We have the same sound strip.
Well, I didn't know that because I didn't have an Amstrad at the time. Now I've had an Amstrad, it just sounds like a shitty ST. Is what it is.
Is that what you called it?
I can categorise a fucking
ST.
Amstrad, a shitty ST.
Well, music on the ST is certainly its own thing. Let's just say that.
Yeah, it's nothing compared to the Amiga or anything. And you can't really.
The STE lifts it, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but there was only like 4 games that supported it, wasn't there? That's stupid.
Good for the demo scene, I suppose.
Yeah,
the demo
I
scene
suppose
stuff. Good for that.
Yeah.
I mean, another one that sound very much like each other, and I was quite surprised as well. I mean, I've never had the experience of one before, but I've recently got hold of an Apple IIe. And I was playing one at games, and this noise that coming from it were like, and I was like,
That's
I know
a
that
BBC.
noise. And it was jetpack, you know, when rocket takes off when you built it. It was that noise. And I thought, wow, Apple II, same sounds as Spectrum then. Which I was quite surprised at. But yeah, you asked earlier, Neil, didn't you, about whether it's the same sound chip it is in Amstrad.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. That's really cool.
And the 128 Spectrum, isn't it?
Is that the AY something, is it?
Yeah, the AY chip.
Yeah, I know one of them because we put one in that Harlequin.
Is it?
Dare we ever speak about that machine?
The 8910. It might even be the same one in the MSX as well. That's got an AY in it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
They're probably cheap at the time and everybody just bought them.
Yeah. Off the shelf sound chip, weren't they? So,
Exactly.
Well, that's it. You know, if you can get an off-the-shelf chip, a lot of the manufacturers just, used what was out there available.
Okay. So, speaking of repairs going wrong, I've got a question for you, Glenn. As you've been repairing for so long now, have you ever completely bricked something when you've been repairing it?
Yep, plenty of times. Which one do you want to know about?
The best one. I know you told me before about your tester. Obviously, that's bricked it.
Yeah. Those wee cheap Amazon or AliExpress testers, and those wee small things. Let's just say don't put charged capacitors into them.
Yeah.
So they go bang. So they. Yeah. No, one of the worst was let me think.
One that you're really upset about.
Well, not so much upset about because it was just a CDI. But I managed to completely destroy a CDI once.
Okay.
In my attempt to RGB mod it. This is going back quite a few years now when I wasn't as experienced with surface mount soldering. But I thought, what could possibly be hard about this? And I wound up completely wrecking the machine, lifting pods, and it was just a mess. It actually wound up going on the shelf, and then I give it to who did I give it to? I can't remember now. Oh no, that's really bad of me. I gave it to another one of our YouTubing friends.
Yeah,
just as a spare parts machine.
Oh, so it never got fixed?
No, it never got. No, it would not be possible to be fixed.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad. And in fact, it wasn't just that I had lifted pods on it and my wrecking it and then thinking that, I might actually have fixed that again. And testing it phase, I didn't notice I had bridge solder points on one of the customs on it and it exploded on me. So, yeah.
That's good.
I properly destroyed that machine.
This is hence why we call it a smoke test, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to look at that video then, if you're doing that. Did you put the video out?
Nope. Nope. No video out on that.
No. What about you, Lee? Have you ever done anything like that?
Oh, I fucked loads of stuff up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any you can famously remember?
Yeah, I've got it on my video when I did the heat sinks, and I've got that ceramic Vic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can actually hear it on the video go snap.
That one of the early videos, that wasn't it?
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, just a whole.
It still displayed though, didn't it?
Sorry?
Did it still display?
No, that was dead. That was the one.
All
you
right,
said
I
that
have
was
had a
still
feeling it's
displayed.
still displayed.
Yeah.
I've kept it for posterity.
Uh,
The only ceramic Vic 2 I've ever owned, and I fucked it.
you snapped it.
Yeah.
Need to put it in resin, make it into a key ring.
I made those 3D printed clamps to keep pressure on it while the epoxy went off,
Yeah.
and the thermal epoxy, and you can hear it on the video. I've done it up and it's gone click, and I thought, oh
Oh
bollocks.
no.
And
Yeah.
there's a raised bit on the die that I just didn't spot. So as I've clamped the edges down, it's just cracked it.
Oh, yeah, it's actually cracked the die then,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it cracked
Oh,
right
no,
through the
well,
whole
that's it then.
package.
right? No,
Knackered,
yeah,
mate.
that's it.
Yeah, that's not doing anything anymore. Still probably more useful than Amstrad though.
I'm sensing a theme here that someone doesn't like Amstrads.
No. The theme isn't that I don't like them. That's well established.
Yeah,
The
it is.
theme is that Neil loves them.
I don't love them. I just like them.
You literally went out and got the T-shirt.
I think maybe that was to wind you up more. But
He loves to wind you up. That's what it is. That's what
I don't love to wind Captain Commodore up. There's nothing happening like that. I have got an Amstrad video coming up soon, and they're dedicated to Elite, so there's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve? Can you remember blowing anything up or mistakes
Again,
going wrong?
It's hard to pinpoint one, isn't it? When things have
Exactly,
gone wrong.
yeah. When things go wrong, they go wrong, don't they?
Most of the time, it's just stupid things, isn't it? You know, like when you're looking at your old stuff with your power adapters, it's either center positive or it's negative, center negative, isn't it? And half the time we're running off a power bench rather than else. So you end up with dumbass things where you put power wrong way around and fazzle the bastard, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they can't make the mind up and all stick to one current way, can they? Like sometimes they go center, like you say, center to positive. Yeah. It's like the Atom as well. When I stuck that 8-volt through its spies, that didn't blow up when it was set to 5-volt because it had. I just read what it said on the internet. They run on 9-volt or something or 8-volt. There we go. Whack it through. What else were them chips as well are stuck? That was a Spectrum, wasn't it? Do you remember that?
Which was that one?
The Spectrum.
Oh,
was doing a video that somebody had modified, and people going mad because somebody spent a longer time modifying it, turning it into a 2-voltage computer, and I just totally undid it. Or I thought they were standard memory chips, but they are 5-volt memory chips, and I stuck 12-volt through the memory chips, and they got rather toasty. Well, yeah, you live and learn. I upset a lot of people on that video, but I wanted it back to original. Now it's working. It's behind me, and it's back to how it was. Yeah. So
we all learn from his mistakes, don't we? And hopefully that we don't do it again, but we usually do.
Might be the PLA in upside down is a good one as well. Don't do that.
Yeah,
PLA upside down. I find the Amiga 500 Plus. I had one. I was building one of them. I could not get it work. It's black screen. I had to put the CPU upside down because all the other chips were facing up, and then the CPU was facing down. So I just automatically presumed.
There's 2 boards on Commodore 64. I can't remember what revisions they are now, but the only difference is they swapped the PLA and the SID round.
Oh no, you gotta be so careful with that. That very nearly caught me out a few times.
I've done it. You just fire them in, fire up. Why don't it work? Oh, I've just killed a SID. PLA's
nice
fried as well. Damn it. You know, but again, that was Commodore, wasn't it? Swapping and changing bloody things around all the time.
I can never understand why they did change that.
There was no need for it, was there? Because that was on the board, and I won't mind, but it was in the middle of a series of them as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So why move it?
They must have had their reasons to revise them.
Yeah, but revised it that way, and then revised it back.
No, who knows?
Yeah.
Bizarre. Unless it were an early design board or something like that they decided to use.
That's just to keep all us 40 years later on our toes. That's all it was for.
Okay, another question. You ready? Glenn again. What's your holy grail that you're still looking for? I always ask
Holy
this
Grail.
question. Yeah, the one computer you're looking for that you want.
I did get one of my Holy Grails there at Christmas past,
Yeah.
but the one that's probably still outstanding, let me think. The obvious one, I suppose, would be one of the big box Amigas, like a 4000 or 3000, or maybe the likes of the Sharp X68K.
Oh, I've never seen one. Can't remember.
No,
Them.
they're-
Obviously, I'd love an A4000. That'd be amazing. But
The Sharp's a Japanese machine.
yeah,
But that's sort of
They're really expensive.
they're stupidly expensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're in this probably into the same sort of money as the 3000 or 4000. You know.
thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, pretty much name your price, can't you, with them ones?
They got some superb games on it though. It's a
Oh,
really
this is
fun
it.
to get.
Yeah, they're fantastic games machines. You know, they're arcade perfect ports of games almost.
So
Yeah.
is that an 8-bit machine or
16.
No, it's
16-bit
16.
machine?
There's a pro version of it, I think, which might be 32-bit. It's because it's got the 30 processor in it.
They got a really.
I don't know that much
version
about
of
them, to
Star
be
Wars.
honest.
Sorry, Lee.
They got a really interesting version of Star Wars on there.
All right. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like an Amiga spec computer or better.
Oh no, it'd be better, I would say.
Mm-mm.
The graphics are literally as good as the arcade for a lot of
It's
stuff.
nuts. I've never heard of one of them.
You must have done.
I haven't.
Well, look it up and add it to
Yeah.
your wish list.
I don't think Steve has as well. Have you heard of one, Steve?
No, not particularly. No.
There you go, Steve. What about
Fucking,
anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat heard about that?
Did I just make it up? Does it even exist?
Did you just make it up?
You dreamt it, didn't you? That's what it
Yeah,
was.
it does, yeah.
That's why it's his holy grail.
No, I had to Google it there, like, but yeah, there's a Sharp X68,000.
Mm.
It looks like a tower. It looks like a
That's it,
tower,
but
and it's got
It's like
two 5.25-inch floppy drives on it.
It's like like someone's got a fucking bourbon biscuit and turned it on its side.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Neil, you've got a Mister. Just power up the core and have a look.
I know I've got a Mister, yeah. Has got the Sharp core in there?
Yeah.
That's cool then. Yeah, I don't need one.
There you are. You can buy a junk one from Japan now for $3,500.
Oh, there you go. Imagine trying to repair it, finding schematics and
Nah,
stuff.
you're all right.
Apparently, Tim said it's your imagination. There you go.
I don't know what that says. I don't know what that says about
There
me.
you go. Right, how do I get rid of that? That's it. There you go.
But the one I got for Christmas there was an MSX2. I've always
MSX2?
wanted an MSX2. So I have, my wife very kindly got me one of those.
Nice. They're not too
So-
cheap either now.
Yes, no, it was very generous over to splash out and treat me with that. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. And obviously, I'm going to do something with the power supply in it. And I don't know, probably stick a Gotek in it or something like that. It's one of the ones with the floppy drive in it. But
Oh, right. Yeah.
rather than muck about with floppies, I'll probably just stick a Gotek on it.
I picked up a couple of MSXs when I did a storage find before. I can't remember what they are. Were they HT10 or something?
Oh, the HX10, that's the Toshiba.
Yeah, something like that. Where...
Yeah, that was my first computer, actually. It's on the shelf here beside me.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See, I've got these MSX Go World boards that I'm going to be making to go in an HX10 because I've got the same one as Steve.
No.
So what you do is you whip out the have you seen them? You whip out the CPU and you put in an FPGA, and it turns the MSX1 into an MSX2 Plus.
Oh, very good.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm gonna have a go at that.
Mm.
Sounds cool. I've still got that one in the box you sent me.
Yeah, you want to build that?
It's on
That's
that
really
shelf.
good. You want to build it?
Do you know what it's called? It's called not having enough time in my life to do everything. Because work gets in my way. If I didn't have to go to work to earn money, then I'd be okay.
Yeah.
I know. To be a full-time YouTuber, eh?
Yeah, work just spoils your life, doesn't it? It spoils fun.
Yeah.
I'd rather just sit in my shed all day and just build shit all day and blow things up and try build things and try do videos. But yeah, I can't, unfortunately. So I have got a couple of days off now. Obviously, I've got Monday off and Tuesday off as well. I booked an extra day. So I'm going to be working on probably that Amiga 600 just out of curiosity to see if we can get it going.
That's my plan for tomorrow as well, actually. Stuck in the one of the 600s.
Yeah, see how they go. Good fun. Good thing about the Amiga is you've got stuff like that serial connection and stuff, which is a great help, I found out, with a no modem cable where you can put in the diagram. Yeah, if you've got nothing on the screen, you can see things happening. It's just so useful. There's so much. And like I was saying before to you about the Amiga board PCB view, which is online.
PCB Explorer,
You can just click your pin. You can see where that track's supposed to go to. It just saves a lot of time. I mean, I used to use something like that for the Macs when I repaired Macs at this place I used to work for insurance. So
yeah,
we could have that.
There's one for CD32 as well, isn't there?
If we could have a board view for every computer, it'd be absolutely brilliant.
It would be nice that. There's only a few that's limited on there, and I think they're mainly Commodore as well, aren't
they? Yeah. So yeah, that would be really cool. Has anybody in the what they called audience? You do call them audience, Steve? In the viewers, got any questions for us? No. Interesting machine. I'll type it in before I move on to the next thing. I've put referral in there for some reason. Where's that come from? Where's this referral thing coming from?
What referral thing?
Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't know. It just popped up. There you go. Should we give them a few minutes now?
Oh, I've got it. I know. Share your referral link. No thanks.
Hey?
Share your referral link.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know what that was. It wasn't used to be there, was it?
Yeah, I think it's just another SteamYard gimmick.
We'll see if anybody puts any questions in anyway. And I'll just add this to the stage here. What does everybody think about this? Do you know what it is? Have you heard the news?
Ridge Racer.
Hey?
Outrun on the Amiga.
No, yeah, but have you heard the news that they're making an Outrun movie?
Yes.
No, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on this? Do you think how's it going to work for a start? How can you do a movie in Outrun? Is it going to be crashing the car and she's going to be telling them off, or
but like Cannonball Run or something? Won't it?
Yeah, it would have to be something like that, wouldn't it? Because I mean,
Death Race 2000.
It's not exactly a story-driven game.
That's what I was saying, and like I said, I was just thinking about that today because obviously when you're scrolling through YouTube and stuff and like your Facebook, you keep seeing these new movies, and half the time it's like somebody's made it up on AI. It seems to be now. And I was thinking this, I saw this, I thought that can't be real. Anyway, I looked into it, and it is apparently going to happen. So, I mean, they could have done.
Get my head around that. I mean, okay, you can see Sega doing Sonic because you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, something with a story, but
if you had to pick any of their other IPs, like would you have went Outrun?
Why would you exactly? Yeah, I mean, even Road Rash would have been a better one. At least it could have had people punching each other off and kicking each other off. But yeah,
Forbidden Forest.
Exactly. That's what the question was. What do you think would make? What retro game do you think would make a good movie?
Soul Reaver.
What was that?
Soul Reaver.
I can't remember that one. I can't comment on that one. Soul Reaver.
Yep. I suppose if you want to keep it in the Sega universe, Shinobi maybe.
Shinobi, yeah.
You could film around that.
Some arcade stuff would be good though, don't it? Like Commando, Ghosts and Goblins, or something like that.
Ghosts and Goblins would make a cool film, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. F-Zero, somebody says. That's another one. Yes, I just found it very strange that they chose Outrun. And I had to double check this and fact check it on a lot on the internet because I thought this can't be right. But yeah, it is coming out, so hope you're looking forward to that, Lee.
We'll go and see it anyway, won't we?
It's just crazy, isn't it?
You can't even think of how they're going to do it, can you? You know what I mean? It's just a car
That's what
that
I couldn't
races.
think. Even how are they going to do a movie? That's what I said. I was talking, it's working around my head before. How can you do a movie on Outrun? Is it going to be a racing game? Is it going to be a racing track? But then it's going to be like some of the other films, like Trilogy of Nights, whatever, with the cars going around the track. Is that all it's going to be? I mean, even Chase HQ, that had a story to it. They were chasing people on the Porsche, arresting people. But
the only way I can see it is like a Cannonball Run type thing.
Yeah,
as you were saying, yeah.
But there's no other cars there, wasn't there? There was only them.
Well, if you play the second game,
yeah,
there's other competitors in that.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, by the way. No, I mean Outrun 2 on the Xbox. It's absolutely brilliant.
Sam and Max Hit the Road would make a good movie. Zumba to You has just said.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Solid.
Any of the old point and click adventures?
Solid as a rock.
I'd say solid as well on that one. What about you, Lee?
Yeah, solid.
Yeah. So that's that 4 for 4.
I would say there's absolutely no difference between them. If your flexible membrane works, if your flexible membrane works, you don't need to change it to a solid one.
The solid one you won't have to change again though.
Well, this is it. If you need a replacement, get a solid one. But there's no need to go out and replace your working membrane with a solid one.
No, exactly. I agree with that.
It doesn't change the feel of the keyboard in any way. You know, you're not changing that.
It just means it lasts forever, doesn't it?
Yeah. I've got one.
It just means that you don't have to buy all else for it. You can pull it apart, clean it, and put it back together. It'll be fine.
What's that?
With the solid PCB, at least if anything does go wrong in future, you can just strip it, clean it, put it back together, and it's done.
Yeah,
they just got the copper on, haven't they?
Yeah, it's got the copper on. Yeah. You can even bridge tracks with it, can't you? With a bit of Kynar.
Yeah, if you wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, which is another bonus because the other ones, when the other one's carbon.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It had the black ferrite on, didn't it?
Yeah, the black carbon pads. Because people said you could put a 2B pencil on them, couldn't you? That's what they used to say.
I'm not sure that's probably a working solution for very long.
Well,
the only thing I would say against solid, now I haven't come across this problem, but I've heard a few people that with time they start to lose connectivity on the buttons.
Yeah.
Well, on the solid membranes. I don't know whether the copper there oxidizes or something.
That could be.
You start to lose the, your button press or you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've got one in the A1200 behind me, but
copper will tarnish and oxidize over time, wouldn't it? Just naturally.
It would do naturally, yeah. But I don't know how much of a problem it is. That's just something I heard.
I thought I still had one I was going to show you. But
what was that?
I thought I had a 600 PCB, but digital retro base where you'll get them from. But I mean, how much are membranes? Thinking about 15, 20 quid, aren't they? You know,
I don't know.
The solid PCBs are about £25 anyway.
You've got two different ones, haven't you, on the 600? And you got a green and a blue.
There's a green and a blue, yeah. But they're the keyboards themselves are interchangeable in the machine. You know, you don't need to keep a green.
What is good about the solid as well is the actual cable as well. You can change the cable, can't you?
Yeah.
That's on a connector. So if that ribbon gets damaged, you could just replace the ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's made out of that Mylar shit, it cracks and splinters, doesn't it?
You end up trying to cut it shorter and shorter. You ever done that? Just to try and get that contact. You never done that?
No.
Yeah.
Scrape the track back. I've done it.
Yeah, I did it on an Atari XL.
Yeah, I did it on the Spectrum. Do you know the Spectrum?
I thought I was being really smart because it wasn't getting a good connection. I cut a wee tiny bit off it and tested it and thought, this is working now. I fixed this until I put the case back on and then the thing popped out of the connector. It seemed bloody short.
Those Atari keyboards are fucking diabolical.
I think the Spectrum ones are worse.
I've got a replacement for the Atari XE that uses mechanical keys, and that's really nice. And you get a ribbon and you change the connector in the Atari itself. That works really well.
No crap one. Even 800s they were rubbish, weren't they?
Yeah, I have a replacement membrane for this one now, so
I've
I'll do
never
that at some point.
I've never opened up an Atari, I don't think, apart from the 2600. Atari computers. I haven't got apart from the ST. Yeah. It's my next one to open is the ST eventually. I've just got like a massive pile growing down here in the corner, which I need to look at. And yes, Lee, there is an Amstrad there for you, Lee, in the pile.
Well, the thing is, right, if you pop open your FM, right,
yeah,
the first thing you want to do is whip that up to 1 meg. And the second thing you want to do is change that toss in there to 1.4 rainbow.
Yeah. Can you program them with a programmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it EEPROM. I did it with mine, didn't I?
If you do the 2-chip version, well, you've got to have special EEPROMs, but fuck that off and just go with 6 64Ks, 512s.
Yeah. Okay.
Change the jumper settings and just go what, bung them in. It'll be perfect. It'll play everything.
Plays everything anyway, doesn't it?
Mm.
Don't forget it ran faster than the Amiga. Run at 8 megahertz instead of 7.14.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, just a little bit faster.
Elite run super smooth. One day.
Just as long you need to boot up your Amiga in the background and listen to the music.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like I say, I had an ST and the music was nowhere near as good as Amiga. There's no comparison, especially when you whacked with your stereo. I mean, you left and right audio. Yes, it was day and night. That's what made me change to the Amiga. That was,
yeah,
because I knew my friend was working at who was it called now? Some I can't remember now. It was ICL. We're working at ICL. And my friend was working on a lottery machines at the time, but the lottery machines had SIMs on it. So he managed to get me 4 1 meg SIMs. So we upgraded the STE, took it to cash converters, and swapped it for an Amiga because they were dead at site because it had 4 meg in it. So I swapped it for this Amiga with a load of games. I was dead happy. Swapped it for an A500 plus, it was, or 500. At the time, and it was just so good then because then I could go to the computer clubs, which were computer clubs. I didn't go there with a box of 100 blank discs and just come back with games. That's what we used to do on it. Yeah. And half the games never got played. Like I say, I probably got a shed loaded behind me now, loads of games. But that's how it was down in Stoke-on-Trent, and that's how it went in them days. Have I got any more questions we can ask? So, going on about tools, etc., for repair, what is the one thing you could not do without on your workbench now after all these years?
Screwdriver.
that's
pretty essential.
No, I'll put like say a new tool you've got and you think this is absolutely amazing. How did I do without this?
Digital load.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I want to stress test a power supply, it's the only way you can do it. You've got to have a working load for it.
And what's that like? What's that look like? Have you got it there?
Yes.
I've never seen that. Have you got one, Em, Steve?
No. Some power supplies don't work, do they, until you put load on them anyway?
Yeah, so what's that do? Put a load on your PC?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, but you can vary the load.
That's
linear power supplies need a load.
That looks like a bloody, looks like an A&D fan.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
No, but it looks like it.
Yeah, looks like the old Ryzen fans.
If you're going to touch a switch mode power supply, you want to do digital load. Without a doubt. For regular linear supplies, it don't really matter.
You can just plug it into the machine you're working on and cross your fingers.
Yeah. Smoke, sorry, don't.
Is it?
If it goes bang, then you probably know, well, yeah, that probably was bad.
It's got two choices.
Is it an Amstrad fan? He said.
Tim, that's not even fucking funny, mate.
There you go. Well, Zambu has just mentioned what I was going to mention anyway, which is a desoldering gun.
Yep, I was just going to agree with them as well.
I mean, I've gone to a Heiko one and it's been absolutely brilliant. I know it was cost me.
The old Duratool works fine for me.
Yeah, I had a Duratool, but then I've got this Heiko one and it's day and night. It's like something different. It's never jammed on me yet. Touch wood.
Mine keeps clogging up.
Exactly, that's what I mean. The other one used to clog up all the while, where this Heiko has never clogged up on me. And I've took so many sockets off. That Amiga, I took all the memories off. I took all the thing, and I didn't get any clog at all. Just straight boom, 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 and it just works. It just does its job.
See, the only thing with the Duratool, see, if your Duratool is clogging up, how old is the gun on it? So I found I've had to replace the gun on mine a few times. But they're not dear. Like, I mean, you can get the gun from CPC for 25 quid or something.
I think what I found was I got a bit of welding wire. And it's the same one.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually, yeah.
Same one I used to unblock the 3D printer. And what you do is you just start it up, heat it up, and just rod it out with the welding wire. And it seems to, while your suction's on, it clears it and drags it all into little glass bit.
Yeah.
There you
You
go.
could use, the acetylene bottle tops, acetylene nib. That's their little brass thing. You used to be able to get a little file kit for them for different sizes.
yeah.
They were good for cleaning out as well, so they'd be ideal for it.
Yeah.
Now I know these thermotronics things are really expensive, aren't they?
I've not looked at them.
Not familiar with it.
You know,
No.
I think they're very, very expensive. I think they're in the same line of like the. Do you know the? Oh, come on! What are those? Oh, guys, I can't remember.
Tim still uses the barcode.
Exactly, yeah, my brain's gone mad. They're clones of the Met, Callie says. So, by not too bad, how much is one of them for a desoldering one? Obviously, you can hear me. JB,
the one thing about my channel,
JBC soldering stuff, that's really good, isn't it? Is it JBC?
JCB.
No, not JC.
GT, yeah.
Oh, there you
They
go.
are. That's
399.
fair
Right,
enough,
there you go. Yeah, it's still like, so it's 399 for the base and then 325. So that's like what, 710 quid in it. All in all. JVC.
that'll be dollars.
Hinksy says, eh?
I know that'll be dollars because I know.
Yeah, you'd be 500 quid, won't you?
So it's 500 quid's worth.
I suppose, look, if you're doing a lot of it, it's probably worth it.
Yeah,
the one thing about me is I always go for the cheap option.
Yeah, I used to, but like say the Heiko I got from Czechoslovakia or something like that, and it was a 240 volt, and it came in about 240 quid.
Mm.
So that wasn't that bad. But if you buy one over here, they're 450 quid.
Yeah.
Just because it's got a UK plug on it, and I just snipped it off and put a UK plug on.
Yeah. It's like all else, isn't it? Right tools makes light work.
It does. Obviously, yeah, you've got like the really good high quality tools. It does make it quicker. You can still do the job with the other tools, but sometimes it's a bit more of around the roads to get it working.
The mechanic desolder pump's quite good.
Yeah.
The grey one with a red top.
Yep.
They're
I keep looking at them. I've very nearly bought one a few times.
Yeah.
I probably should get one because it'd be handier if you just have one or two joints to do, rather than firing up the desoldering station every time.
That's it.
Since you've mentioned mechanic, I was watching what's his name's Retro Computing Reboot the other day.
Okay.
See his video on nano sponges?
No.
These things.
A nano sponge.
They are so good, honestly, mate. These are worth getting. These are made by Mechanic.
Right.
Is that so you can clean your nano tool?
You get like 500 or something in a box. It's full of them. See them all. And then these
Well,
little
they're nano
sponges
sponge,
here, and you just put them in your tweezers.
I suppose,
when you-
yeah, with the microscope.
When you're cleaning up your boards, they're so good. They just take all the flux off the board and everything. They're not
Huh?
like, do you know when you're using like your, honestly, I couldn't believe how good they were. When you're using these cotton wool boards,
Yeah.
and you stick them on a leg and they just sort of like get loads of hairs stuck everywhere. You must have happened to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
There, these things can just go straight over the pins and clean between. They're so good, honestly. I bought 4 boxes. I like them so much. And they're only
Send
like,
us a link, would you?
hey?
Send us a link for them.
From AliExpress, they are. They're so cheap. They're about £3 a box or £2 a box.
You'll let us swap them with sugar cubes.
No, honestly, mate. Listen, I cannot. These are really good. Have a look at his video.
Link.
A link to these.
Yeah, later. Later on.
Right, yeah. I'll send you a link to them. Honestly, they're definitely worth having.
I'll give it a go.
Because you know what it's like cleaning boards.
Yeah.
It's not good, is it?
I had the same thing happen today doing that Mister thing. You get the hairs left when you're using the cotton wool buds. Not Q-tips, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, they make a mess. You more times than enough, you just wind up
No,
smearing
not later. Somebody
stuff
said.
around the.
Bung the link
around the
in
board.
Discord. Yeah. I'll put the link in Discord later so everybody can see it. Unless I can get it now quickly. Has anybody else got any questions or why I look for this link quick? Just keep the chat going. No.
Right, so, you said you've got an MSX. Have
Yep.
you got any cartridges for it?
No.
I have 2 cartridges somewhere. Where the hell are they now?
Because they're properly hard to get hold of over here.
Yep, I know. There was one that I have one from back in the day, and I can't find it now. I had it. Hopefully nobody's been in here and swiped it. One that I actually found back in the day in a wee shop down the road, just randomly. Just one day, I was just lying on a table, MSX cartridge. And I've got this one here, Konami's Golf. That's sealed,
Jesus.
not opened. That actually came from, I don't know if you've seen the videos or not. There was a warehouse that sort of collapsed in England somewhere. The Commodore PC I have came from there, and the PC Engine I have came out of there.
Whoa, what
RMC
happened
has
there?
a few bits out of there. That was rescued from it, sealed.
Oh.
I have 2 minds whether they opened it or not. I probably
No,
will.
don't open it.
I don't know.
Oh, that didn't go to plan.
Oh,
It's good if you didn't ban
Neil,
yourself for flooding chat, you know.
Put it in Discord later.
I just spammed the chat with loads of what's his name. The link, he says. Obviously, he's managed to do it. He's had to copy them all, I think.
Neil, just put it in Discord later.
I will do, yeah. Definitely. But honestly, I do. They're really good. I mean, I've cleaned up. Like, I've been working on that Mac this week and I've been using these to clean the board up. And it's been dead good. Much better. Much better than cotton wool buds. And
Looked
that
nicer
was
on video as well, won't it?
that was Retro like Computing Reboot that mentioned it.
Mm.
He's in our Discord group.
Yeah.
He did post a video in there. You can see he was wholly impressed by him. And I think on that link there, there's 77 pence for a box.
What?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
And £1.50 postage. It works out about £2 a box. That's why I bought 4 boxes, because it said selling fast. So, yeah, and they are designed, but they're made by Mechanic. Obviously, Mechanic do some good stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I use Mechanic soda paste. I use Mechanic soda.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and they've been really good, like I say.
Have you never been tempted, Glenn, to open that game?
This one here.
Mm.
Do you want me to open it now?
Don't do it.
I laugh at me slip now. That is crazy.
I'm not particularly fussed on keeping things sealed. You know, I'd rather open it and play it. And I do
Yeah.
like my golf games. That's why I specifically wanted this one when I seen it come up.
Yeah. I mean, difference is as a collector. I mean, we can play these games anyway over SD card and all that we want to do these days. You know, we don't need to open them. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I've got quite a few sealed games, and it's like, well, I really want to open them. I really want them to use. You know, it's been made and put in a box. I know it's not real, but it's been made, put in a box, and it's just sat there on a shelf and never been used for what it were intended to be used for.
Yeah,
you know.
Problem with MSX games is they're so expensive.
So expensive. The originals are crazy money.
Yeah.
But I've been looking at some of the, like the, what do you call them? The cartridges for loading games from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at a few of those, just weighing up options at the minute. I'm not sure. Not sure which one to go for. There's a few out there.
I mean, you can make PCBs anyway, can't you? You can get them.
You can make PCBs and stick a ROM on them.
Yeah.
You know, burn your own that way. But there's multi-loader carts as well. You can get.
SD mappers, I think they're called.
That's the term I was looking for.
Needs something like Kung Fu Flash for it, doesn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, something like that would be perfect.
I've got some 512K reprogrammable cartridges that I built for the MS. That works quite well.
I think you've included one of them in that box, haven't you?
What's that?
In that box you sent me.
I've sent you loads of shit. I sent you you can build an entire MSX in it. Just for fun that I built. Have you seen that one, Glenn?
No, sorry.
So some guy, Scotty, his name is. He'd made an MSX that you could build with a mechanical keyboard. Works really well. Works really well. MSX1.
Yeah. I was following the Terrible Fires MSX project. He did the MSX2 Plus, I think it was.
All right.
But I don't think he ever released the boards for it. I've seen one of them down at Amiga Ireland. They had one down with them, showing it off, and it's a cool bit of kit, but just waiting on releasing the boards. That's maybe a build one. Although I've got the real machine now, so I'd rather have my original hardware.
Have you got a Mister?
No.
They're quite cool, and the way they work, it feels really good.
Yeah, no, I mean they're very cool looking bits of kit. They're not the cheapest thing out there, but I mean obviously it supports more or less everything that you'd want it to. For me though, to be honest with you guys, I'm more into the original hardware. So emulation stuff's fine. If you just want to play your games, that's what it's about. But for me, it's more getting the machine, getting it working, rather than playing games on it. If that makes sense. I like to get the bit of hardware. It's almost that I build something, get it working. Right? Okay, it goes on the shelf. What's the next hardware project?
Exactly.
The thing gets fixed and built and never bloody used. Yeah. But I get the satisfaction out of
getting it working,
the repair.
Yeah. I agree with that as well. That is good. Yeah.
I think one of the things that I've enjoyed with this, let's call it a retro revival of the last decade or so, is the sheer number of projects that you can actually build a whole computer from.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the 60 clones, the 128 Neo, the Amiga, all the machines that I've now built for myself that are recreations of old machines. That I've found really interesting.
And the amazing Harlequin.
Well, my one works. It just don't load from tape.
Same as mine. It's stuck up there on the shelf.
Can't help you there, I'm afraid. I don't know much about them.
No.
You don't want to, Glenn.
It's a lot of soldering.
You don't want to.
It's a hell of a lot of soldering.
No, there's a lot of work on them, isn't there? I've seen a few of them being built, but yeah, they're cool machines. They're great recreations, but yeah.
They are, yeah. They're troublesome, though, aren't
they? Yeah.
Yeah, very.
Definitely. I built two.
That's the problem. When you get a recreation that's not a recreation, it's a reimagination of something. You don't have the prior knowledge that's been built up from that retro machine. So when you get a 60 clone, it is a clone of the real hardware. The 128 Neo is close enough to the actual C128, but the Harlequin is just a Frankenstein beast that is ready to kick you in the nuts when it don't work.
Because there's no ULA, wasn't there? So they had to like make it out of all those chips.
Logic.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
Is that why there's so many chips on it?
That's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They all
Okay.
like, yeah. It's
but
crazy.
they haven't got the accumulated knowledge of people with them to say, oh yeah, that's the problem. You know, you actually got to go trawling through it and find out where you fucked up. In this case, I don't think it's us, Neil. I think it might have been a problem on the board. We're both having the same issue.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the 1581 scenario.
Don't even
Exactly.
get that one going. Jesus. Fucking Stevie Wonder designed that board, didn't he? Christ.
There you go. We got a question in from Tim. What are your thoughts on replacement chips that use FPGAs and cost double a genuine chip?
We love it.
To say you'll probably buy 3 or 4 of the originals to keep
It depends
going.
where you're buying the original, isn't it? I mean, if you're saying it costs double an AliExpress original, well, you got to roll that dice, whether you're going to get a working chip or a real chip.
I mean, if you're going to sell it on, if you want somebody wants it original and they want you, are you building it to sell or something like that? Then you put original chips in, wouldn't you, that work? You know, but if you're building something to keep yourself, like if you're going to do a 60s clone for yourself, and you didn't want any original chips in there, as little as possible, yeah, do it.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Because if you're rebuilding it, like I say, but if you want to keep it original, you keep it original, don't you?
I mean, if customers want to pay extra money for a J CPU or CIA, fine, I'll get them one and put it in for them.
Yeah.
But
one of the worrying things with this is that FPGAs are not a long-term product, are they? So you don't know what the actual lifespan of these things is going to be.
No,
at all.
We didn't know what lifespan Commodore chips were going to be.
No, but we know now that it's it's 40 plus years at least, and they're still going. We don't know that about the FPGAs. I mean, one thing I do know for certain is the odds are against us being around in 40 odd years, but the chips themselves might be toast. They might all start going sort of 10, 15 years. We just don't know.
No, we don't know.
Yeah, the odds are definitely against me, mate. 40 years, Jesus. I'm not doing YouTube at 90 years old, mate. I guess, right.
The comment there on the A375, there is a replacement Agnes in the works. I've heard rumblings about that.
I was going to say, I've heard rumblings for a few years about replacement Agnes, which is based on an FPGA chip. But I don't think it's ever came out, has it? That's what they need to do, is something like that.
No, it hasn't been released yet, as far as I know.
Yeah. Because to try and get an Agnes now
is progressing on it. Like.
Exactly. Try and get an Agnes now, I mean, they've shot up in prices, haven't they?
On the A375, you're looking 70 quid, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the price they've gone.
You're better looking for a battery bond A500 plus, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah,
just hope that Agnes is alright.
It's generally Gary in the data lines that get it, in it, with the battery.
Well, this is it, you know. 9 times
Agnes
out of 10,
is hiding down in
right.
the corner. Exactly. What have you got there, Steve? You got a box of bloody Agneses.
It is where he whips out a box of 120 Agneses. Yeah.
That's where they all are, then.
That's where they all are. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what there is.
8-bit retro price fix.
Fixing the market.
I don't know what they are. I mean, they've only got 4 Agneses in here anyway.
Oh, only 4.
Only 4.
That's a 72A. 8372A. 72A.
So Tim agrees with us.
And a 71.
Not just as valuable as the A375, but yeah.
No, I think I give that away. Totally give that away.
Well, the code's in FPGAs now, isn't it? So there shouldn't be any reason why someone can't make one. You got it running on like the Mister and the Mini Mig and stuff like that. So the Agnes code is already out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably will do it, especially because the Amiga market is such a big market to get into as well, isn't it?
It's a fucking expensive market.
I think it's one of the biggest markets out there, though, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah,
For retro.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be one of those popular.
Pretty much Commodore, isn't it? Commodore's got it staged.
Yeah, and Amstrad as well, mate.
No.
bollocks.
No.
Glenn,
No,
you
mate,
see
no,
the sort
mate.
of abuse I have to put up with.
Terrible, so to say. It's uncalled for.
Exactly. What he said.
But you see, the other one that I think is going to be up and coming, it'll be your late 90s PCs. So if you want, to think about collecting any of that stuff, now's the time.
What's that?
Your late 90s, Windows 95, 98,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff, all that hardware around that.
Well,
The price of it already is going up, like so.
The Voodoos are already expensive, aren't they?
Oh, the Voodoos are silly money, like, but
solid card though.
It's the same. It's like I went around the car boot this morning. Didn't see any. I saw one Commodore 64 game, but you don't see anything at car boots anymore. I think Steve got a good pickup, didn't you?
Yeah, I picked up 25 PS3 games for a tenner. I took them straight to CAX and there's 55 quid cash or something. It was. Thank you very much.
That is crazy.
I think there were a couple of big hitters in there. Apparently, I can't remember what they were, to be honest. But that's.
Have you ever found? What's the best thing you've ever, like, literally found at a bargain price? Would you say
a boxed mint 3DO at a tenner at a car boot?
All right, okay, that's very good.
The original one, that looks like a hi-fi stacker deck, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because I always heard somebody bought a CD TV once for a $5 because he thought it was a CD player. Well, it never happens to me. I've never found anything like that. What about you, Lee? Have you ever found anything really good price?
My Vectrex was 20 quid.
Oh, well. What year was that?
Oh, fucking hell. I don't know, 15 years ago.
Oh, there you go, then.
I think the best one were about 5 years ago when I went to pick up a Windows 98 PC that were a tenner.
Yeah.
When I got to house, I had a Commodore t-shirt on and last said to me, "Do you like Commodore?" And me, sarcastic me, looked down and went, "Nope." She says, "Well, would you be interested in these then?" And she showed me its sofa and it had an A1200 and a 500 on it and about 30 box games and external disk drives. And I thought, I wonder what she's going to want for that. So what do you want for that? She went, just give us another tenner. I can't remember how much I had in my wallet cash at the time. I think I had about 40, 50 quid or something. I said, "Here, take that. It's worth more, but, I'll have a bit of something." And I filled my boot up. And a Peugeot 307, dropped my seats down, filled the whole back end up with stuff, and come home. And I thought, I was buzzing for days.
I can't actually say anything, can I, actually? Because what happened to me, did it, a few months back?
Yeah, you got a good one as well, didn't you?
With the electrician. And I was talking to the electrician that had come in to do some repair at work. I was just chatting to him. I said, like retro computers and stuff. He said, "Oh, you'd like my brother." He said, he just got this house off his father-in-law's died, and he said it's full of old computers. He said, "Send him a message." So I sent him a message. This guy, he said, "Yeah." He said, "I've got a few." He said, "Come along and have a look." And I got there, and he's just pulling computer after computer out of this cupboard. I should have filmed it. I was just getting excited. There's BBC, there's Atoms coming out. There was, what else was there? There's quite a few BBCs, 2 Atoms, a Dragon 32. The ZX80s.
Yeah.
The disk drive for a Spectrum, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That I did on the video. There's quite a few stuff anyway. I filled my car to the roof and filled the seat as well. And my wife said to me before I go, "Don't come back with a load of tat," she says. And of course I left her at home, thank goodness, because I was like a kid at Christmas. They were just coming out and coming out and coming out. Anyway, he just donated them all to me, to the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything had been modified and messed with a lot. Like that Spectrum came from there. You see that Spectrum with all the caps put to it and everything. So everything has been messed with and modified, but that's part of the fun is putting it back to original, because that's how I like is original stuff. I mean, obviously I modified the Amiga because I just think it's handy to have everything on an SD card inside. And that, like I say, the Pi Amiga is just really good at it. The accelerator.
I just don't do emulation.
At the moment,
Don't do emulation. It's nice for testing.
Hey?
Don't get me wrong. I don't
Yeah,
do
but
emulation.
I'm saying, but on the original hardware, the accelerator, the Pi, what's his name, Pi Storm, it's just so good. Yeah,
That is Amiga.
Yeah, but I'm saying is, but I don't know what your thoughts is on this, Glenn. Whether you like to modify things or keep them original or what.
I certainly like to build new expansions for the old machines.
Yeah,
but
so like
the base hardware, try to keep as original as possible.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah.
You know, I built that new 2000. You know, the EA2X 2000. So you know, it's an Amiga 2000 and an EA2X form board, and all the cards in it are all new, built replicas of old cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but it's still at its heart an original machine.
Might be new, but it's old.
Yeah, exactly. It's got an old chipset on it. Everything else around is new.
That's it. Yeah. I've just done that 2000 and put a Pi Storm in one of them.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Oh, quite good.
So, say, Glenn, do you remember that Spectrum I had or not? Because if you were doing one of them, would you have put it back to original or left it on a 2-volt system?
I don't know. I mean, that probably would have been a retro mod itself to some degree.
Yeah, well, somebody had done it, yeah. But it was like massive capacitors, wasn't it, Lee? Did you see?
I don't know. I've probably been of two minds at that, to be honest. You know, part of me would think that maybe redo the modification and try to tidy it up.
Yeah.
But then equally, there's, you know, put it back to stock. You know, there's always that.
Exactly.
Put it back to how it was.
So we've got another question in for Glenn.
Whatever happened to the multi-cartridge board you were making?
What is that? That's interesting. I want to know what it is.
It is in a box here somewhere. Let's see, is it in this one? I'm assuming this is the one for the Spectrum that he's talking about.
I presume it is. I'll wait for an answer.
I came up with this, which was intended to plug into this was intended to plug into the back of the Spectrum.
Yeah, that's the one.
It would give you 4 pass-throughs as such, so you'd have 3 here, vertical cartridge slots, and then 1 sticking out the back of it. And I tried to integrate a joystick into it as well. So yeah, it doesn't work.
Exactly.
The Spectrum sort of made wibbly wobbly things on the screen and funny noises, and then smoke escaped from this. So I just put it back in the box and decided I'll come back to that at some point.
Maybe.
I've no idea why it did that, to be honest with you. But the intention was that this would power the Spectrum. I have it on very good authority that you can power the Spectrum off its cartridge port.
Yeah, I've heard that as well before. Yeah.
Because the 9-volt or whatever it is that feeds into the Spectrum, that's presented on the cartridge port as well. So that's what this does. This passes the 9-volt directly from that jack through to the cartridge port. But there's also a 5-volt regulator on here to power just this board. And the 5-volt rail on this is separate from the 5-volt inside the Spectrum. So that we're not overloading the Spectrum's, regulator.
You could run the C64, can't you? If you use the Coari, the full-blown board with the HDMI port out of it, you don't need power supply.
Yeah.
It takes the power straight down for HDMI.
I'm pretty sure it's a power issue of some shape, form,
you don't
or
get
another.
sound. You don't get sound video, but it still boosts and videos there.
Yeah. I think there's a power issue with this somewhere. It may also be a PCB issue. So
The thing is, we got on with
need to spend some time with it.
We got on these projects, don't we? We do them for videos and things like that. We do them for ourselves to enjoy them. We do it to make a video as well. But if it goes wrong sometimes in our lives because we're working and doing other things and family life and everything else, it's difficult to have time to diagnose it, isn't it? Sometimes you preset it to one side and you have to do something else, and then you end up doing something else. It takes ages before
it's really hard to get back this often, isn't it?
Yeah.
It may well be the case that the separate rails are the issue. The problem with that, though, is I don't think I can rely on the regulator in the Spectrum to drive that. There's so much going on in that.
That was already burning its tits out, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. Remember the heat sinks on them were like that long.
Can you not use one of those buck voltage converters now instead of using the regulator?
Even at that. Well, I suppose you could probably put a 2 amp version of that into the Spectrum. It would probably be all right. I could maybe look at that.
Yeah, because a lot of people are using them now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, most people are using them,
Yeah. Like I say, so it should be good. Right. I think now. I was just about to say something then and I forgot again what it was. That's typical.
Well, the problem with those buck circuits is they inject a lot of noise into the power line.
Right.
A lot.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Yeah.
So much so that it can supposedly stress some of the components.
The Atari 2600, you can see it on the screen. It bleeds all the way through the circuit, and you get this like interference appear over the screen. And that's with the switch mode power supply running at about 150 kilohertz. You can still see it. The harmonics triple down.
Yeah.
Remember that. They're very fussy on power supplies, aren't they? 2600.
Well, there's no filtering anyway, but the Spectrum's not so different.
No,
really.
it's not the same.
It just comes out the arsehole of the regulator and goes straight into everything, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just grab a drink.
Has it? Yeah. I knew there was something I was going to talk about before I went. So last question before we go. You probably answered this before anyway. What do you think of the A1200 that's going to come out? This full-size machine.
It looks cool. You know, it's going to be a great option for someone looking to get into Amiga and wants the full-size machine, wants the AGA emulated chipset.
Yeah.
Not for me, but you know.
Have you used any of those other full-size like emulation machines or?
No.
No.
I've played with them at whatever conventions we're at, and yeah, they're fine. They play the games that you want them to, but I've just no interest in buying the emulation boxes.
They don't feel the same, do they?
No.
No, there is something about them. What do you think about them, Lee?
I love them.
I know you. Apart from the Atari one you had, didn't you have a lot of hassle with that?
Well, I think I've got all of them pretty much, apart from the Atari ones, where they're total fucking garbage. All the Commodore ones have been really good. The A500 Mini, it actually works really nicely. You know, if you want to power it up and play a few games, it will do the job.
Yeah.
I mean, on my shelf, I've got the PC Engine one or the NEC TurboGrafx one as the little console. I've got the NES, SNES, and all those sort of things work really well. And I'm not really an emulation snob, so it don't bother me. But at the end of the day, if you want real hardware, play real hardware. If you want to save space and still want real hardware, the best compromise is the Mister.
I was going to say the Mister is different again.
Yeah, it's not like emulation, but it doesn't feel like it.
It's strange to explain because, like I say, I watched some videos on Lee's, And I was thinking, what's he going on about this? It's just an emulation anyway. So then my wife bought me the Pocket for Christmas.
Oh, phenomenal bit of kit.
Yeah, and I tried that, and it was just amazing. It's like playing on a. It's strange. I put the cartridge in it, and I was playing. It was like playing on a Game Boy, but with a really nice screen, and it just felt like playing on a proper Game Boy. It was strange to. You can't explain it, can you? Like, it's like trying to explain VR to somebody. You can't explain to VR to somebody, because when I first got VR and everything, I was into that. I was telling people at work, and they said, "You just got a screen in front of your eyes." I said, "It's not like that. You can't explain it until you try it." And then since then, the Mister clones have come out, which are 99 quid now when you can get hold of one. And that's sat under my TV, and I can just go in to my front room now, and I can play my Amiga games, I can play my arcade games, and it just plays really well. Yeah. Because although I have got the Amiga up there, I can take that out, but lugging that out to the front room with a power supply and everything to get it working and then getting it work on the TV, it's possible, but yeah, definitely the Mister, I think, is the way forward. I think forget about all these others, just go for Mister.
Yeah, I mean, these things are. I mean, for myself, I mean, you can see behind me, you can see my collection. But over the next couple of years, I'm going to be getting shut of all this because I'm going to be packing up slowly. But for me, when I decide to retire, I want to still play on my 8-bit games, but I don't want the hassles of the old systems breaking down when I've got to start playing, fix the bloody thing again. I don't want to do that when I get into my retirement. I want to enjoy my retirement and being able to use. I mean, I've got the Spectrum. I've got Gideon's Ultimate U64 motherboard. So that's never going to back up on me. If it does, it's lifetime warranted. And the A1200 that's going to bring out, yeah, that's good for me because it's HDMI. And
That's
I'm only
anyway,
that's where my nostalgia lies, really, is with playing games. I enjoy fixing things, obviously, but playing games and sitting back when I retire and having something that I can plug into my normal telly and not worry about my controllers and power supplies and chips going pop and just enjoy, and it will give you a similar kind of feeling when the Spectrum, and it all intents and purposes, it is a 48K Spectrum. Same with the A1200. Yeah. Same with A1200 with it being a full-blown keyboard. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. That A500 was spectacular, really, wasn't it? For what it was and what it did and what you got for it.
The Mini is that.
Running CD32 games flawlessly on it. Everything just works nice.
It is a very cool little machine. Like, I mean,
to have the full-blown keyboard as well to give you that bit of nostalgia feel with it, rather than having something that's like that with a lump of metal in it to give it some weight. I never liked the minis.
No. Is it Captain Commodore? Sure. What's this then?
But if they didn't do these reproduction things, you wouldn't have like these Commodore 65s, would you? But Lee's got one.
What's that?
The Commodore 65s.
Yeah, he's got one of the 65s, hasn't he?
If it wasn't for retro scene, you would never have one of them at the end of the day, would you?
No, that's right.
I suppose it just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's what you want to get out of the hobby.
Yeah.
Do you just want to collect the hardware and have the original hardware? That's me.
Yeah.
That I'm not fussy about game collecting. These shelves beside me here are full of games, but it's mostly more modern stuff that I've picked up at charity shops and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't really go out of my way to try and collect old games. I'm quite happy to have the old hardware. That's what I want. But for the games, I'll no bother sticking a multi-card in or
exactly. Yeah.
Running games from GoTech or sticking a CF card in the Amiga or whatever it is and playing it that way.
Yeah, I mean, in effect, they're just shelf fillers, really, because they don't get used, But they're also there. I mean, I've got some of that stuff for quite a lot of years, but there's also there is a nest egg as well for when you get to retirement. So when I do pack up from working, I can just sit and sell a few bits and pieces off and stuff and have
as long as the ass doesn't fall out of this by now.
Hey,
As long as the ass doesn't fall out of the market before then.
well, I don't know.
We've always said about that, didn't we? We always said once this generation's gone, is it going to be as popular? Because there is
It might not be ours, but you know,
if you look
there
back
is
a
a
wee
lot
bit,
of nostalgia
you know,
there at the moment, isn't there?
we're injecting it now into us kids, aren't we?
We're trying to.
Not the same. We was there. We had
I
it.
know.
See, the 2600 stuff, it's starting. You know, the games there are starting to go down in price, are they? And I have thought that they're starting to reduce in
Dip
price
a
a wee
bit.
bit.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever reach rock bottom where it would have been, you know, in the late 90s or whatever.
No.
Just when it was old tat that nobody wanted.
Where people are just throwing it away in the skips.
Yeah, well, we've all done it, haven't we? We've all done it with
Oh,
ours.
I threw away some spectacular
Apparently,
stuff.
C64 drives and bread bins are falling in price.
I mean, end of the day, they will do with all bloody kung fu flashes and everything else that's out for them now.
Not that, how many bread bins is there out there? Probably still a lot.
There is.
They sold millions of them, didn't they? So
Yeah, they did. But it's like Mark II escort cars, isn't it? I mean, I've had probably 10 of them in my life, you know, and I wish I put them in a field now.
Yeah, I scrapped to Mexico for 40 quid to the scrapyard.
Yeah, so well,
Throw it there as well.
one now worth $5,000.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, it's them days, isn't it? If you know, it's always the case. If you knew what you knew now, you wouldn't be working now. I wouldn't have been anyway.
No. You'd have been buying all them Commodore 64.
Exactly.
GSs
When you're walking around the car boot and there's a
20
Amiga
quid.
there, £5.
You'd have been down every weekend
Yeah.
with your pocket money and buying one and sticking it in loft.
Exactly. And when you're looking in bloody, what was that paper that used to come out? Was it Loot? That used to come out, the sales paper, the yellow one. You look in there, the Amiga 2000s for like 30 quid and stuff. You'd be buying all them, wouldn't you? Yeah.
right.
Snipping the batteries out of them.
One of the local electronics retailers back in the 90s was getting rid of CD TVs for 20 quid a touch.
Is that, yeah. What's his name? Was it HMV was selling Jaguars off for $9.99 boxed, and the games at like 2 quid boxed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you'd have known what we knew now,
We walk past stuff like that now and we just think it's tat. You know, it's all crap is that now. It's outdated. Nobody wants that anymore, you know.
Here's a question for you. Do you think in 30, 40 years' time, will people be looking back at PlayStation 4 and 5 and saying the same thing?
I think so.
I don't know, because they've already started ripping away discs and making it all digital. I think that tactility of having a physical media is disappearing.
Well, your last console, isn't it, is 360 of the PS3.
Yeah, I think for PS4 and 5, I think that generation is all digital all the way. I think there won't be a lot for them to be nostalgic about other than a copy of the game running.
Yeah, you're right, to be fair.
I think, yeah, maybe the early PlayStations and stuff, but I think PS5 owners and stuff will still be waiting for GTA 6 in 30 years, won't they? Because it keeps
delayed again, hasn't it, apparently?
Yeah, apparently it's been delayed yet again.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be like that, isn't it, GTA 6? It's going to be forever delayed.
Yeah.
Like I say. So you never know. That's a good question, though.
Mm.
Is it going to have the same following? Because obviously Amigas and stuff had a massive following.
I think 360. I think 360 as games consoles. I think 360 of the PS3 will have a nostalgic era.
Well, you know, there's kids out there that already, you know, view those machines as retro.
Yeah.
What's that?
20 year old.
The 360 on the PS3. Yeah, those are. I'm sorry, those are retro machines to some people. And not to me. I mean, I've got a PS3 under my TV in the living room still. That's my current console.
I've got a 60 gig one up the attic. Yeah, that doesn't work. It's red lighting.
I wouldn't do that.
I've got an Atari console under my TV, and it's the do you know the VCS as it was reimagined from the States?
Yes,
that was cool.
So I got one of them. I powered it up. My missus got it for me for Christmas a couple of years back, and I thought this is fucking shit. So I ripped that operating system out, and I put an SSD in it, and it's got Windows 10 on it. I use it as a movie box. I play media on it. Really good. Media
It's
and
just a
emulation.
PC under the hood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's not bad.
Maybe that's the thing that will hold the nostalgia. Then maybe it's PC gaming because you
think
have
so?
the hardware.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So keep your GeForce cards now. I've got one in the shed actually. Might be worth loads of money in the future.
Yeah,
Never know.
like my 1080 Ti that I've got, my Founders Edition.
Exactly there. Definitely
Still got
keep
the
it.
box. You know what I mean? I've still got boxes.
There will be some cards that'll be collectible, like yeah.
Exactly.
I just sold my Vega 64, the AMD card, but it was of two minds because I've got a feeling that will be one of the collectible cards in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've sold all my PC stuff. I've switched to Mac. I have.
Somewhere, I'm sure. I'm sure I've got an AGP dual Voodoo.
Nice.
Do you ever see those?
No.
Vaguely.
What was it?
I think it's a 5,000 or 5,500.
I remember the 55,000. It was too much money. I had the 35.
It was one of the 5,000 series. Yeah, that was essentially two cards and
that was it. Two cards in one.
It's as big as a fucking surfboard. It was
Yeah, they are.
And it had an AGP slot on it, and it had two fans on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got one of them somewhere.
I was sure 3DFX basically invented the SLI thing.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I put in the skip. I put a dual Pentium 2 server that in a skip, and in that was a set of Voodoo 2s. That was real sensible. Wasn't
I had two Voodoo 2s. I had, was it an 8 meg and 12 meg? Were they or something like that? Were they something like that?
Yeah, I think those 8 and 12.
Because they had mismatched pair, I had to flash it up with a bias of the other one to match, so make them both 8 meg. And it worked okay. He used to run Unreal Tournament with his Glide driver. Absolutely brilliant that game was when that came out. It's groundbreaking. Yep. Dragging all my computers around to mates to play LAN parties on that. They were the days.
You can download that for free now on Clip.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'll probably really rubbish at it now.
I actually had a game of it with my son. He's 13. I stuck it on his machine because it runs on Windows 11, no problem.
Yeah.
And he kicked my ass out.
Did he?
Yeah, he's incredibly good at his first-person shooters. So
you see my lads like that, but if I get him on something like Speedboard 2, I can run circles around him. You know what I mean? If we get him on the Amiga on Speedboard 2, and I can literally run circles around him because he can't. I don't know what it is when we can't follow it, or sensible soccer or anything like that. Good old game.
The problem is we've got old, and we used to be that good back in the day.
No, we didn't.
Now we're not.
Nope. Reaction times have slowed down, haven't they?
Yeah.
Fucking everything's slowed down, mate.
You play a first-person shooter now, and you go like, "Oh, there's somebody there." I think
this doesn't help as well, does it?
I'll shoot it. Oh, I'm dead.
Just add auto aim. There you go. That's what you said.
Which is everything.
Look at that.
Everything just goes to shit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's that? I've only just hit 50, mate, and I've noticed a big difference. I nearly died fitting a tow bar the other day. I couldn't get back up off floor.
I know.
I was lying on my back like that, and I thought, I'm stuck here now, mate.
It's like as soon as you go past 50, your knees say, "Nah, that's it, I'm done."
I've left the building. See you guys.
I have another few years to go yet before I catch up.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's worth looking forward to, mate. I've just hit it.
Yeah, despite the grey hair and the grey hair of what's left of it, I'm only 44.
Yeah, that's your brain growing. That is and pushing your hair out.
That's what it is.
Grass doesn't grow on a busy path.
I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah. Right, I guess that's about it. Now we've been going for a while now, haven't we? So, thanks all that came along in the chat, and we'll call it a night. Thanks a lot, guys. See you again.
Yeah, later.
See ya.
Bye.